Hi, good morning. This is Nancy T with Natural Massage Therapy. I'm wanting to share something with everyone as they're going through their time of physical separation, and working with the breath is a really important thing to do, especially at this time as this coronavirus is really affecting the lungs and breathing for people. It's also, as fear comes into our lives, we tend to hold our breath more, and it's a really great thing to be able to work with breath and understand the breath. And as we do more controlled breathing, we can have the ability in order to help our own lungs, as well as to bring life force energy through our body. As a polarity practitioner, I work with energy since the 80s. It's something that's really different for people because they can't see energy. And so, computers have helped us to track energy, so we know that what the ancients have talked about for 5,000 years, working with Chinese medicine and things, is very clear and true that we are energy and energy flows through us. And so it doesn't have barriers such as walls or, other countries' distances do not keep the energy away. Energy is continually flowing through us as well as the world. And we always see that through life changing and working with how the life force energy goes through us. And we're now in the springtime and things are starting to blossom. So the life force from the seeds are starting to spring forth. And so with the breath of life, which is what we're going to work with today, we'll start with our air and filling our lungs, but it's also that we'll get into more of the breath of life, which is once you practice this for a while, you'll understand that it goes beyond the air that you're taking in. Yes, we need air to survive, but it's our life force energy that keeps us here. And so that's something that we all need to work with. And doing this for ourselves as well as others is really beneficial, because we don't have time to be with people right now because of the physical separation that we're experiencing. We are doing this through the internet and different ways of connecting, which is beautiful, but we also can do this on our own in a self-practice, doing some breathing techniques. And today I'm going to share one where we do things to a certain count, meaning we're counting up to the number 3 in this particular series. You can increase this if you'd like in the future. Once you feel that you're doing this really easily and well, it's really not the number of breaths that you're doing. It's really more in the focus of feeling the lungs being filled, feeling the life force energy filling your body and moving through you. And there's also pauses, and pauses are really important because if we don't pause, kind of everything runs together. I mean, a sentence goes just kind of comes together and you're like, what are they saying? So the biggest thing is that you go into a place where the pause is really, in therapy, is really more of the healing space. So we do a lot of activities when we're doing body work, we're working the body, and then we pause. So we're just stopping our hands, moving, taking a breath with the person, and that's where the real true healing happens. So pauses are really important in this breath work as well. And I'm going to do it and count it out so that you understand it. But and then I'll do the exercise itself. But it's also just really important to find a rhythm that works for you. Find a number of times that can benefit you and work with this life force energy. So in time, you'll find that the pace is your own. Thinking of a person works really well with this breath. So the first round that you do, and I'm just going to show one round and you can continue on with that, but the first round is always starting with yourself. And the reason being is you always want to have that grounding, that life force energy in yourself before you're sharing that with anyone else. And then there will be the last round will be once again for yourself, so that you're grounded and solid in yourself and you feel your life force energy before you're walking away. We never want to deplete ourselves. That's not what this is about. And even when you are thinking of another person, it's not that you're sending something to them in any big way that you're depleting yourself. It's really just about love and finding that love and compassion, so that as you're breathing, that's helping their breathing, because honestly, we're all one. And so as we work through things in life and we find a good space for ourselves, we're always influencing someone else. So personally, I've just been working a lot with being really present with myself, doing things that support me so that I feel like I'm good and healthy for the rest of the world to be good and healthy as well. And so that's really what we're going to work with today. So the way that this 3-part breath series works, again, you can do this in various numbered counts, but we're just going to do it to the count of 3. So we're going to start with doing the very first one will be that the breath is for myself, then I'm going to think of someone else, and then I'm going to come back to myself. So the way that we start is, of course, getting quiet for yourself. Having a nice quiet space helps you very much so to do any exercise that's more of a meditative thing and being in your own space. So, of course, I put do not disturb on my devices and things so that I can have that clear space here. And so when we start with this, it's, starting with some good breath. And so I'll start with just a few really good breaths until I feel nice in my own self, that I'm not going to struggle and look for ways to kind of grab the breath. That's not what we're looking for. It's just nice, smooth breaths. And in time, again, you'll go into this more in an energetic state, and this will be more of life force energy coming through. So the very first thing is, once you get a good breath going for yourself, then you're going to a count of 3, inhale, hold the breath for a count of 3, exhale to a count of 3, again hold the breath out for that count, and then you're going to inhale to the count. And it just continues in this cycle. So there's a pause and in between kind of each thing. And for us today, we're just going to do this 3 times. So I'll do that, and I do that 3 times for myself, and then I go into breathing for another person, and then I go into breathing again for myself. So in the end, this particular one will be like doing 9 breath series, again with starting with a pause, going into inhaling, and then a pause, exhaling, a pause, inhaling. And those all are to a count of 3 that you're working with. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and just show you around, and then I'm going to leave the rest to you. So I'll just start with first finding a space for myself, and closing your eyes is helpful because it closes off that sense, and so you're able to have more coming into your body instead of the vision going out. If you like, you can have your hands this way, like your index and thumb together, just resting on your lap. You can just have your hands on your lap. You can also put your hands to your chest or your belly, whatever feels comfortable to you in finding your breath. And remember, the lungs are big. They're, from collarbone down, into the diaphragm area. They're very large. And also as you're breathing, that the lungs come out and out to the sides and to the back. So again, this isn't so much about making it really big in the lungs, but just knowing the expansion of the lungs is really helpful. So I'm sure you notice that you're not seeing much action and not trying to get this big, huge thing going on. So it's just simply, once you find your space, it's inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold. And so you just go through the series, find your way. That's my saying always, because I did find my way and I continue to. And I hope that you all find your way with this and working with the breath. If you have any questions, please contact me at naturalmassagetherapy.com, or my email address is nmt1@naturalmassagetherapy.com. I hope that this helps you and someone you love. Remember, you just go through the series for yourself first, the other person, whoever you're thinking about, send them some good breath, some breath of life, some life force energy, and then you go through it for yourself. Hope that this helps. I sure do like helping people, and I hope that that comes through. Be well.